Welcome to Foundation Friday. The dedication and covenant of silent unity was signed on December 7th, 1892 by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, founders of the Unity movement. It is unlikely when they signed this covenant that they had any idea how far-reaching unity would be as it evolved into the church we know and love today. We invite you to join us as we explore and share some of the original ideas, teachings, and writings of the men and women who created the foundation of the Unity Church.
Hi, thank you for joining us today for Foundation Friday. Today, I'm really excited to share with you an article I found at truthunity.net. This is the faith of the Fillmores. And of course, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were the co-founders of Unity. This story is according to your faith. In the middle of the speech, the fire in the stove went out. When the speaker noticed this, he did not stop his speech. He went right on, but he came down from the platform and picking up a stick of wood, took out a knife and began to whittle kindling. With this kindling, he relighted the fire. As he worked, he kept on speaking calmly, occasionally emphasizing his remarks by gesturing with the stick of wood from which he was whittling. When he had the fire going once more to suit him, he remounted the platform, speaking all the while. A boy in the congregation had attended other religious meetings, but he had never been to one like this, where the minister built a fire and made a speech at the same time. The simple act seemed to light a fire inside the boy. He was so impressed that he volunteered during the time that he was in Kansas City to come to all the meetings that the man conducted and to keep the fire going. 50 years later, he wrote to Unity to tell about the incident, for the speaker had been Charles Fillmore, a co-founder of Unity School. The fire in the stove burned to ashes half a century ago, but the fire that was lighted in the boy's heart and mind is today still burning as brightly as ever. Charles Fillmore lighted many fires in many minds. He was a fire bringer, a carrier of the Promethean spark. He was highly developed spiritually, and yet his spirituality was salted by a sense of practicality. He was an original and creative thinker and moved boldly into new realms of thought. Yet he never lost the common touch. He was always trying to light fires in people's minds. But if the fire in the stove that warmed their bodies went out, he attended to that also. His head was in the clouds, but his feet were on the ground. He was gifted with uncommon sense, but he had an uncommon lot of common sense too. There was about him a divine simplicity that must have been characterized by Jesus and some of the great philosophers of ancient times. You might imagine Socrates lighting the fire if it went out in the middle of one of his discourses with his students. Charles Fillmore was such a man. Probably few men have spent more hours in prayer than he. He lived for 94 years, and the last 60 of those years were for him almost a constant prayer. His life had one purpose, the unfoldment of his own spiritual qualities, so that he might help others to find and unfold the spirit within them. Afflicted with a physical handicap that kept him more or less in pain, he might have settled for half a life, but he was not content to take life and half live it. He had the divine intuition that life is meant to be something grand and wonderful. He felt that life is good and that it should be full of joy, not suffering, that evil is only the result of man's failure to understand and apply the truth about himself. He felt that men develop only a fraction of their inherent powers. He spent much of his lifetime praying and thinking and laboring to develop those powers within himself. Perhaps it was because he himself needed physical help so much that he was not content with a religion that merely taught him to endure his pain. Religion, to him, was not an artist's subtle drawing to be hung up on the temple wall and occasionally admired. It was a set of working drawings that he could carry about with him in the back pocket of his mind and apply to any situation that might arise. He sought for a religion that would heal. I hope you have enjoyed this insight into Charles Fillmore. Once again, this reading can be found on truthunity.net. Thank you for being a part of our Foundation Friday series. Hope to see you soon. God bless.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.